everybody, Paul Stanley, Carson Oaks Church. Thank you for tuning in with us. You know, if you know me, you know one of the things that I love to do is ride motorcycles. My wife and I have been over East Coast to West Coast, North to South over the years, before we were Christians and after. You know, I think that maybe being a part of that whole biker scene back in the days has allowed us this unique opportunity to go back into the biker world and share the gospel of Jesus Christ with the folks that I knew back then. A few years into that ministry, I was in Indiana, and this man approaches me and he asked me to pray for his wife. I think if I remember right, she had cancer. And I stuck my hand out to introduce myself to him, and he goes, "I know who you are." He says, "I've been watching you for a couple of years, but I want to make sure you guys are legitimate before I ask you for prayer." You know, the first thing I thought of was like, man, he had to see me do something stupid in 2 years. I mean, because it's me. But I wondered, did he see me or did he see Jesus in me? Regardless of what he saw, he still came and asked us for prayer. You know, here's the thing. Paul wrote to the Colossians church, he wrote this. He says, "Devote yourself to prayer, being watchful and thankful, and pray for us too, that God may open a door for our message, so that we may proclaim the mystery of Christ, for which I am in chains. Pray that I may proclaim it clearly as I should. Be wise in the way you act toward outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone." A lot of us as Christians have a desire to minister, but you got to understand, you got to be very aware that people are watching you all the time, whether you know it or not. And then one of the questions you should constantly ask yourself is, what do people see when they see me? I don't know about you, but before I was a Christian, the last thing I wanted to do was talk to somebody who was putting on a front or putting on some kind of production. I wanted a real person to talk to me about real problems in a real life. And that's what folks today need to hear. They need to really see Jesus in you. If you're a Christian man or a Christian woman who has a desire to minister to people, they need to see that in you. But they're watching you. Because I'll tell you, in my experience, there's a lot of people who talk the talk, but do not walk the walk. And you have to ask yourself where you're at in that today. Christians, what you do matters so much in the way that you walk in the community where you live at. There's a dying world who's desperate for some kind of answers, especially in this day and age. You know, right now, this will probably be online. You can see it sometime after now, but right now we're going through the whole coronavirus thing. It's April 2020. People are losing their mind. Even Christian people, they're online talking all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories, and they're coming up with all these things like it's the end of the world, and we're going to have food shortages, there's going to be riots and killing on the street. It is spreading this spirit of fear among believers. Don't be that person. People need to hear something positive. I'm not talking about pie in the sky, you know, happy kind of a thing, but just talk to them about a real Jesus who brings real hope to real people in a real world. We'll get through this, but you know what's going to happen to those people who are all this doom and gloom when this is over? They're going to look ridiculous in the eyes of the people whom they've been sharing that with. You guys hold fast to what you know in Jesus Christ and stay the course. You know, there's people that need to hear truth from you and love from you. You know, it matters what you are to them. Like I said before, I've said it several times, when this is over and we're meeting back in our churches, we should come back stronger than when we left. We come because we've been studying the Word, we've been in prayer, we've been in this communion with God, and we've been witnessing the people around us. And when we come back, you should be bringing those people with you, man. Make sure that when they look at you, they see Jesus and not the foolish flesh of humanity. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.